to Addie's chat. My name is Addie. Most people call me Addie. Thank you for joining the chat today. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you to everyone who has liked, everyone who has shared and sent a comment. Thank you very much for all the lovely messages. Thank you very much. Today is just going to be an easy breezy type of chat today, because my last chat where I just talked about the pandemic, most people seem to like that. So I'm going to be doing once in a while, doing some just random chats really. So today I thought that I would chat to you about things no one tells you about the UK. So things that people don't tell you about the UK before you move here, things that people don't tell you. I just thought I'll chat about that today. Some people were born here, so this might not be relevant to you, but the topic for today is things no one tells you about the UK. Things no one tells you about UK when you before you move here, before you move over from things no one actually tells you about UK. This would not be relevant to people that were born here, maybe people that moved here when they were quite little. This might not be relevant to them, but for those of us that moved here when we were a bit older, this might be relevant to some people and maybe not to others. This topic came about because a few weeks ago I was having a conversation, we were just having different conversations, myself and a few friends from all moved over here when they were in their 20s. All of us moved over here when we were in our 20s. Some of us over 40 now, some of us looking at 40, quite close to 40 now. So we were just having different conversations about different things, and we just started to talk about our different experiences when we moved over here. A lot of us came from African countries, Ghanaians, people that came from Nigeria, from Togo, from Cameroon, some came from Italy, from France. Anyway, a few of us ladies particularly really, and we were just talking about the different things that we assumed were a certain way, and when we got here it was a different way. It was quite an interesting chat, and I did say to them that I would do I'll do a video on this. I'll do a chat about this. So the first thing that was quite peculiar to quite a few people was the weather. Really, the weather. We all know, we have seen before we moved here. Obviously, most people would have read about it, or someone could have told you that there are 4 seasons in this country. You have the winter, the summer, you have spring, and you have autumn. But nobody really tells you how brutal the winter is and how severe it could be really, and the summer as well. Nobody tells you how hot that could be. For me, the best season for me is actually spring. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just perfect really for me. Most of the winter is really hard. We are in the winter right now, and yes, most of the winter is really cold. Your hands are freezing, your head is freezing, your feet is freezing. You don't want to go out. There's nothing you want to do. It gets really dark early. Nobody talks about that. And when it snows, the day it snows is good, but a few days after it becomes quite slippery and people begin to fall. It's not nice anymore, and it's dirty. All those things, nobody really tells you about that. You don't see that in the movies. You only see the lovely white snow, but it's not all the time. It's not white all the time, and it's always freezing cold during the winter. So this is mostly, to be honest, November, December, January, February, and a bit of March is very cold, very, very cold. Yeah. So we all had that opinion, and we thought, yeah, it would have been nice to get a warning, but even if you got a warning, there's not much you can do about it. So that's the first thing that was quite peculiar to everybody. Yes. Everybody, that was the first thing that was a big shock to everybody when they moved here. Especially if you move here during the winter, it would even be more of a shock. But if you move here during the summer or spring, you actually get a bit of time to adjust before the winter comes. Yeah. So that's the first one. Another thing that no one tells you about, obviously, as I was saying, that this conversation generated from a group of friends that we were chatting about our different experiences, and we all came in our 20s. I remembered vividly that I came when I was 21, and I celebrated my 22nd birthday actually when I was here. I remembered, because of this chat actually, I remembered a few things about it. I'd not remembered it for a long time. I remember that as one of the big supermarket just newly moved into the town I live in, and I got my cake from there. It was a lovely chocolate cake. It was nice. There were a few people there. If I find a picture, I'll post it somewhere. Well, I don't know. I don't know if everyone else will want to see themselves then, because yeah. But anyway, I came when I was 21. So a few of the girls that were chatting together, the ladies, most of them came in their 20s as well. And one of the things that shocked us, because most of us came straight out of uni, and some people could have done a year or two of working or something like that. One of the things that quite shocked us coming here after we went to uni and things was that the bills, the amount of bills you pay here, the way you have to pay for every single thing here, it's ridiculous. you pay for TV license, you pay for a special TV package, you pay for gas, you pay for electric, you pay for water, you pay for clean water and dirty water, you pay for everything, just name it really. You pay for everything, literally. Your money comes in and then it goes out the other way. As it comes in, it goes out the other way, paying for bills. So that's literally, you pay for every single thing. You pay for everything. That's one of the things here, that if you're coming here, you should be ready to pay for everything. You do get the service, you get good service, you get great service, but you pay a lot for some things that people will class as irrelevant, but they're all relevant because they all make the society work. They all make things a bit better for every one of us. They all paying for these things make life a bit easier and a bit more orderly for every one of us. So it's not too bad at the end of the day, but just get ready. You cannot really avoid bills. Well, I don't know, maybe people do it, I don't know, but I don't know how they do it really. But you cannot really avoid bills in this country. You would have to pay really. You would, except you're quite destitute, and yeah, that's another case really, but you would have to pay. That's the second thing that no one tells you. Another thing that no one tells you about UK before you move here is this. You might want to agree or disagree with this. This is the mindset, and I would explain. So the mindset in this country, and I have seen this in one or two jobs, and a few people have also said this as well. The mindset that some in organization, especially the senior management, they do this a lot. A lot of them have a mindset that they don't necessarily have to do a lot really. They don't. I'll give you a good example. They'll come into meetings, they wouldn't have read the agenda or read anything or looked at the tracker or anything about that meeting. They'll come into the meeting, crack one or two jokes, and they'll get off easily and not really talk about what the agenda is, what anything that's sensible about the business. They will not talk about it, but because they can speak so well, they come into the meeting and just crack one or two jokes, and everybody goes ha 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 ha. Everybody laughs loud, and yeah, and then we all move on, and that's how, and they get paid for doing that. A lot of the senior management do that. Please feel free to disagree with me, but some people would actually understand what I'm saying here. A lot of them don't do a lot. They have a lot of them think that they can get away with not doing a lot, and they do get away with not doing a lot really, because they can just speak, and they just middle management and lower management can then do with doing all the work really, and presenting everything to them really. Yes, so but that's it's good anyway. I suppose it happens in a lot of other places in the world as well. So that's one of the things that you get here. A lot of people, I just feel a lot of empty heads, I'm sorry to use that word, a lot of empty heads get through. They get through in careers here, and you can disagree. Get through in careers, not doing much really, but just being able to speak well really, not being able to prepare anything, not being able to prepare the paperwork, not being able to actually articulate anything that they're even saying, but just by speaking well and cracking a few jokes, people get by. That's my opinion. Yeah, so that's one of the things. So one of the positive things, very positive thing that no one tells you about the UK is that it's easier to actually study and pass your exams here. I would hand on heart say that, because I did my master's here. It's a lot easier, I'll tell you. The access to, one of the things that wowed me when I came here, access to books, access to the internet, access to the library, like new books, like latest research, what you have access to, the amount of publications. Something, a paper could be published today and you have it in your hands literally if you wanted it as a student. It was just mind blowing. It was. And the way the exams were done during some of our exams, we actually were allowed to bring textbooks into the exams. Really, we didn't have to cram all this things that were unbelievable. You could just copy them from the textbook and then write out how you feel that this, how you feel this works, and answer the question. You don't have to cram a lot, which I found that in Nigeria that made some of us less than average. Some of us that were average already made us less than average because we had to cram a lot rather than studying. A lot of what we were doing, I was doing particularly, was cramming really to get through the exams. So I wasn't really assimilating a lot really because I crammed a lot, and it kind of pushed me a little bit, possibly less than average, which I already knew I was average. But here it kind of put me a little bit above average as well, because I didn't really have to cram. I had time to actually understand what I was taught really, and to understand how principles and the different theories worked. So it's really easy to pass here. That's one of the good things about here. Yes, one other thing that was surprising about here is about the UK's. The houses are really small. It's unbelievable. The houses are so small. Oh my God, what they call a whole house in this country could be one room in so many African countries. The space that they would use to build 15 houses could be used for one house in most African countries. It's not a joke really. Sometimes we do, and again, because we don't do ourselves any favors as Africans, we don't really talk about the positives from our side, and that's a huge positive for us. We've got a lot of land, we've got a lot of space, and we've got really decent houses, decent spaces in our houses, but we don't really put that out there. The houses here are small. They are really small, and sometimes when you have it, I know people will come back and say, oh, there are some big houses. Yes, the big houses here will be medium or regular size houses. In most African countries there will be medium or regular size houses. Yeah, so the house is small. Everything is small really. The windows are small. Some people's bathrooms don't even have windows, they only have extractors. There's, like, don't get me started on that. Not a lot of ventilation in the houses. There's, yeah, well, anyway, the houses are small. Let's just leave it at that. Another thing, again, which is quite related to the houses, the roads are small. The roads are so tiny, and then people park all over the roads. The roads are already tiny, and people are parked all over the roads. The buses struggle to actually navigate most roads because it's so tiny. It's so tiny. But yeah, that's also another thing that was quite surprising, really. Yeah, but they make it work anyway, so kudos to them for that. Yeah, so these are some of the things that no one really tells you about before you move to the UK. Yes, and one misconception really that I would like to correct. Quite a few Nigerians, and this came up in my conversation with the girls as well. Quite a few Nigerians that are back in Nigeria that come on holiday. Some of them have the misconception that not all Nigerians, Africans, different people. Some of them have the misconception that all of us that are here actually do menial jobs or do jobs that are not befitting. When they talk about horrid jobs, really, they think that everybody does horrid jobs. Not everybody. I would like to put that out there. Not everybody does horrid jobs. Not everybody. And I don't think it's anybody's business to actually speak horribly about what somebody does. Really, you're not putting food on their table. It's not your business. Some of them go around, and I particularly I remember that there was a classmate of mine that came here a few years ago and was saying, oh, I could never stay in this country because I never want to be a carer, I never want to be this, I never want to be that. And I said to her, and which is true, so many Nigerians doing the jobs that they love, really. And even if they're doing a job they don't love, as long as it puts food on their table and you don't put the food on their table. I don't think it's left for you to say that they all go there and do jobs that are horrible. Really, half of these people in Nigeria work in offices where they don't even deserve paid. They don't deserve to be paid because they only go there to go and chat and go back home. And some of them have the audacity to say that people are here doing jobs that are not befitting. Really, I think we need to put that straight out there and get people to know there are loads of people here, loads of Africans that are doing jobs that they like, loads of Africans that are doing jobs that they have to do for the time being before they get to the job that they want to get to. But there are so many people as well that have never done any horrid job since they've been in this country. So that's it. There's so many people that have never done that have never had any reason to do any horrid job. So yes, it's not all doom and gloom really, as some of them like to put it out there. Yeah, so there's always with anything in life, yeah, really, there's always a good and the bad side. There are always good things. I like, to be honest, I like living here because there's so many things that work with my own lifestyle, and things are quite orderly. I like things to be orderly. I'm a very planned person, so I like things to be planned. So yes, so I really know what I'm doing at certain times. Really, I don't like things to just, I don't like a lot of surprises, a lot of mess and all that going on. I like things to be orderly. I like to know where I am. So yes, I'm quite happy with that, really. Yes, and I know that there are people as well that live here that are quite happy to be living in Nigeria because there's so many things that they like about living in Africa and living in Nigeria. Yes, there's so many things I like about it as well, but to an extent, to an extent, yes, both places are home now, and I gladly say this to anybody who cares to listen, that I'm one of those that would say I am the best of both. Really, I'm really happy. I'm quite happy to be the best of both. Really, I don't think I want to choose between the two. I'm happy to be the two and to be the best of the two. Really. So this is where I'm going to end my chat. If you would like any more chats like this, there might be another one that I would do. Really, this also came out of my conversation with the girls. There might be another one that I would do that's quite similar to this. We'll see how this goes anyway. But if you've watched so far, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, can you subscribe now, please? Thank you. If you watch this and you found it interesting, or you've got some one or two things to add as well, please drop it in the comment below, and also share with friends, family, everyone. Thank you so much. I will see you the next time. Thank you. Bye.